We are coming into Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know if you can see the skyline there. There's the AT&T building, which you always see on television when they're showing Nashville. On our way down to Florida. Right about 5:30, so may not be too bad on coming into town. When we come back out the other side, it may be rough. For those of you who don't travel a lot, or drive a lot, I should say, typically your rush hour traffic, and you may notice this just on your way to work, but typically your rush hour traffic, if in the evening, if you're going into a city, it's not too bad. It's going out because most people are leaving in the evening, and it's vice versa in the morning, right? If you are 7:30, 7 to 8 in the morning, or 7 to 9 in the morning going into a city, it's usually bumper to bumper. But if you are heading out of the city, it's usually not as bad. You can see the traffic there on the left, people leaving Nashville right now, and it's pretty stacked up, and we're flowing pretty free right now. But when we get on the other side, it's going to be the reverse, I would imagine. Sometime when I get a chance, I'm going to spend some time down here in downtown Nashville. As many times as I have been in Nashville and spent the night in Nashville, driven through Nashville, I've never really gone downtown and done the touristy stuff. So I'm gonna put that on the bucket list. The wife and I are also going to put Gatlinburg, Tennessee on our bucket list. I think we may do that this year. We're talking about doing that this year, just taking off for a week or so and going to Gatlinburg and checking out all of that touristy stuff. That should be fine. As you can see, we are hitting the traffic. We are going to be taking 24 eastbound towards Chattanooga. Our path through Georgia and into Florida is going to be I-75. One of my more favorite roads to travel, maybe because I just don't travel it all that often, I don't know, but I enjoy I-75 for some reason. Personally, in all my travels, I've been all over. I've been back and forth and up and down throughout the United States many times. I've been to every state in the continental United States except for Maine. Now, I have been within 10 miles of the state line of Maine I remember the last time I was up there that close, I thought I should just drive up there and cross the line just so I can say I have been to Maine, because I've been to every other state, and I didn't do it. I thought, I'll be back, and I haven't been, and that's okay. It's beautiful country up there. Vermont's gorgeous. That's a beautiful part of the country. I don't hate going up there. It's expensive driving up there. Tolls are expensive, fuel's expensive. If you need to stay anywhere, it's expensive. The population is so dense, and you got to go through Massachusetts and Connecticut and New York, all of that, and the population is so dense that, man, for a guy who's grown up, in flyover country, it's tough to get used to that kind of population. But I'll be honest, I've got a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth for the Northeast, and here's why. If anybody out there has ever been a truck driver or have a truck driver in your family, and I should say that's from anywhere except the Northeast, right? Then typically truck drivers complain about driving in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, the Northeast in general. And there's a few reasons for that. I'd already mentioned, that it's expensive and the tolls and all of that. But the main reason that truck drivers hate it is because that part of the country was built for horses and buggies, and later on maybe Model A's. And it is just a severe pain in the rear to get around in a semi-truck up there, especially a modern semi-truck dragging a 53-foot trailer. The roads are not really built for it. The cities aren't built for it. Lots of one-ways, and the traffic on top of that. It's so. So what I was saying is, my first time in that part of the country, my first time in anywhere in the country, was driving an 18-wheeler. That's how I saw the country for the first time. Was driving an 18-wheeler as a greenhorn who could barely back into a dock when I started. So. As most people start out that way. Anyway, so that I got severe anxiety every time I crossed the Hudson River, which is when you're going over into New York from Jersey. Every time I had to cross the Hudson, the first year I almost had a panic attack, just because of how difficult it was to maneuver around. But now I am driving this little comparatively little van around, and so when I go up there, getting around is not an issue because of the size of my vehicle. I can take this van almost anywhere you can take a regular car pickup, other than height-wise. But that anxiety held on. You know what I mean? It was ingrained in me, and I'm a lot better than I used to be, just because I've been back there so many times. But I still get a little anxious when I have to go to the Northeast, and when I've been up there. Pennsylvania, I'm great with Pennsylvania. Once you get farther northeast than Pennsylvania, I start to get a little anxious, and I start to get a little more homesick, and I know that is just leftover anxiety from my trucking days, because again, there's really no reason for it, and it is a beautiful part of the country. But anyway, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but we are just coming out of the south side of Nashville, Tennessee. be hopping on 24 East pretty soon, and that's a beautiful drive. This is all a beautiful part of the country as well, and looking forward to getting down to Florida. Unfortunately, spring break is active right now, so I may not be hanging out on the beach any on this trip, because there may not be anywhere to stay on the beach. But we'll see. I still love going down there. My favorite parts, I think this is how I got started on my tangent about the Northeast. My favorite parts of the country to drive in, I love driving to Florida. I love going anywhere there's palm trees. I love going to the desert. I love going to the southeast. I love Texas, love driving in Texas. I love going to California. A lot of people don't like going to California. California has its, and again, that's another one. So here's something about California. When I drove semi-truck, I was very nervous when I was in California, just because they have a reputation of being so strict, right, with the regulations. So I was always a little bit nervous when I was there. But I loved going. I love driving out west. I love the wide open spaces. As soon as I get west of Oklahoma, say on I-40, as soon as I get west of Oklahoma, I cannot explain this, but I relax. It literally feels like, and especially, the farther west I go. You hit New Mexico, or if I'm down farther south in Texas, I feel the same way if I'm in South Texas. I just feel like my troubles melt away when I get out there, those wide open spaces. I can't explain it. I don't know why that is. Would I want to live there? I don't know. I've thought about that, and I doubt it. I don't think I'd want to live in the desert. The truth is, when you're out there, everything is so far apart. It's so far away, right? You got to drive 100 miles to get to Miss Sally's house. It's crazy. But man, I love driving out there, and I love going. Now, maybe if I did it every week, I would get tired of that. I don't know. But anyway, so south and west, I don't even mind going northwest. I like going west, period. And anything south of I don't know, I-70 is, I don't have any problems with any of it. I don't have any problems with any of it, really, period. I just feel more relaxed when I'm driving in the south and in the west. Okay, well, I've been droning on here for about 13 minutes as we're sitting in traffic, so I'm going to turn this off. Thanks if you've made it this long, I appreciate you listening to me drone on. Give me a like and subscribe if you can stand it. Thanks, bye.